Hello everybody and welcome once again to the SENA TV Web English Show, where we have an appointment to visit different and wonderful places in the United States. Here you learn more about the lives of the most famous and renowned Americans that have made an impact in our world. You'll get to know also about U.S. culture, tourism, and history. So I invite you to join me on this amazing journey through the United States of America. Ladies and gentlemen, get ready to be entertained.
Lunes de bilingüismo.
North Americans celebrate holidays year-round. From January to December, every month is full of feasts and festivities, going from Valentine's, Memorial Day, St. Patrick's Day, President's Day, Labor Day, and the ever-popular 4th of July. Join us on this celebration of the American culture as we learn more about the popular holidays in the U.S.
Americans only have a few federal holidays. They have 12, while Colombia has more than 20. The 1st of January is a holiday. This marks the celebration of the beginning of the new year. You may want to spend the night before at Times Square in the famous New York's New Year's Eve, considered the biggest party in the world. January 15th is Martin Luther King Jr. Day. It is always the third Monday of January each year. Martin Luther King was an African-American civil rights activist who successfully protested against racial discrimination in a nonviolent way, highlighted by his world-famous speech, "I Have a Dream." On February 14th, Americans celebrate and value love and friendship with Valentine's Day. The day was named after an early Christian martyr. People demonstrate their love this day by buying gifts to their boyfriends, girlfriends, friends, and family. Modern Valentine's Day symbols include the heart-shaped outline, doves, and the figure of the winged Cupid. On March 17th, every person wears something green. It's St. Patrick's Day, a religious holiday celebrated internationally. It commemorates St. Patrick, the most recognized of the patron saints of Ireland. People go to churches, wear green attire, especially shamrocks, and celebrate the lifting of Lenten restrictions. Memorial Day is another federal holiday celebrated on the last Monday of May. It originated after the American Civil War to commemorate the fallen Union soldiers of the Civil War. By the 20th century, Memorial Day had been extended to honor all Americans who have died in all wars. It normally marks the start of the summer vacation season. Usually celebrated with a major display of fireworks, the 4th of July, or Independence Day, is a federal holiday in the United States, commemorating the adoption of the Declaration of Independence from the Kingdom of Great Britain on July 4th, 1776. Independence Day is the national day of the United States. When Labor Day comes around the corner, students start feeling blue because this marks the end of summer vacations and the beginning of the school year. It is celebrated always the first Monday of September. This federal holiday honors the nation's workers with parades all around the country. Thanks to Christopher Columbus, the second Monday of October is always a holiday feast, Columbus Day. It is a day that commemorates October 12, 1942, when the Italian navigator Christopher Columbus landed in the New World and discovered America. When pumpkins are all over people's porches, this means that Halloween is on full go. It is always celebrated on October 31st. American children, teenagers, and adults dress up in costumes. Children go trick-or-treating. Meanwhile, adults celebrate it with big scary parties at houses or at nightclubs. On November 11th, Americans celebrate Veterans Day. This federal holiday was established to honor Americans who had served in World War I. But it now honors veterans of all wars in which the U.S. has fought. On the fourth Thursday of November, Thanksgiving is celebrated. Americans have a turkey dinner to give thanks to God for life, friendship, health, love, and everything they enjoy in their lives. Ho, 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 ho! Santa Claus is coming to town. Finally, the year ends up with Christmas celebrations all over the country. It is the annual festival of the Christian Church commemorating the birth of Jesus Christ.
The man you're about to see made himself one of the richest American businessmen by developing real estate and building projects in Manhattan. He is Donald Trump, and his name has echoed in worldwide finance. His ambition, wealth, and love scandals have turned president of the Trump Organization into a quite controversial man.
New York witnessed the birth of Donald John Trump on June 14, 1946. His mentor was his father, Fred Trump, a business real estate investor with whom he worked from an early age. He owes his dad for his knowledge of the construction industry. He studied economics at Fordham University and got an MBA in the prestigious Wharton Business School. His father often said, "Some of my best deals were made by Donald. Everything he touches turns to gold." With only a small bank balance, but with a lot of confidence in himself and in his negotiating skills, he made many contacts within the industry, setting him on his way to build his wealth, status, and the big Trump empire that he has today. In mid-1976, he met his first wife, Ivana Zelnikova. Based on his ability to advertise himself and as a PR guru, he convinced various investors to bet on his building projects. His bold project began in 1983 with the construction of the most expensive building in New York City, the Trump Tower on Fifth Avenue. Later on, he started the construction of the Plaza Hotel, and then he began diversifying its portfolio with investments in the Trump Plaza Hotel and Casino in Atlantic City, while he was also working in the transportation industry with the Trump Shuttle Airline. In 1987, he published his first book, A Technical Manual to Become Rich, while addressing rumors of an affair with Marla Maples, which was pointed out as the cause of the breakup with Ivana, of whom he legally separated in 1990. After some failed real estate projects, Trump came to the brink of bankruptcy with debts of $3.5 billion. However, by restructuring liabilities and with his ability of persuasion, he got new investors and even became the owner of the Miss Universe pageant. Even though he lost most of his properties, by the end of that same year, he returned to the top and wrote about it in his book, The Art of the Comeback. Trump also decided to invest in the showbiz industry. He has had a successful television career, being associated with shows such as The Nanny, Roseanne, Suddenly Susan, The Fresh Prince of Bel-Air, and Spin City. In 1993, Donald married Marla Maples, but their love story only lasted until 1996. In 1995, he met the beautiful model Melania Naus, his current wife. In June 2000, he received the highest award of his career, the Hotel and Real Estate Visionary of the Century Award, given by the UJA Federation. In 2002, Forbes magazine named him as one of the richest men in the world. But it seems Donald was not satisfied with his immense fortune and all his achievements, and he accepted the challenge of hosting the new reality show, The Apprentice, which began in 2004. The Apprentice became the most popular show that year, breaking many records, being watched by over 20 million people. The Apprentice involves 16 candidates previously selected of all social conditions. The contest winner is awarded a one-year job as chairman or co-chair of one of the Trump Organization divisions and a salary of $250,000. Donald Trump has given away 436 acres of wooded parkland in the northern suburbs of New York. Keeping in line with the rest of his projects, it will be called the Donald J. Trump State Park. His fortune is currently estimated to be $2.9 billion. Donald Trump is the definition of a success story. He is a passionate philanthropist, a successful businessman, and a deal maker. Let's hope you never get fired by this impressive mogul.
We'll be right back after this short break. Don't move so you can see who is going to be our special guest for today. Stay tuned.
Do you know the difference between could and would?
Ya regresamos con TV Web Educativa. Seguimos con TV Web Educativa.
Could. Could is an auxiliary verb used to make requests, ask for permission, make suggestions, and express future possibility. For example, request. Could you please lower your voice? Permission. Could I borrow your dictionary? Suggestion. You could take an aspirin for that headache. Future possibility. I think we could go to the mall tomorrow. Would. Would is an auxiliary verb used to make requests, ask for permission, and make arrangements. Example, request. Would you please pass me the salt? Permission. Would you mind if I take your car today?
Many people in the world travel to countries to have cultural exchanges and to learn another language. If you decide to travel or live in another country, these tips and personal life experiences might come in handy.
I was born here in Bogota, Colombia. I moved to the States back in 2003. I moved with my mother and my brother. I think what helped me the most to learn the language was watching movies in English, subtitles in Spanish, speaking to other people that did not speak Spanish, forcing myself to speak English, and making friends with people that weren't Hispanic, that spoke my language. Reading helped me a lot. Such a universal language that you're able to speak to anybody that you really want. When you're there, you meet everybody from across the world. You meet them. You meet people from Italy, England, Africa. It's great to see all the different cultures, but you really just have one thing in common. It's that you speak English. That you're able to learn so many things from them, but you have to know English. Working there, if you're bilingual, you get paid pretty much twice as much if you know the language, if you know 2 or more languages. Being able to know Spanish is also a great advantage because those are just the 2 most common languages that they ask for. But if you know more, that's just great. I'm planning on going to the University of Texas, where I plan to study international affairs. It is necessary for you to know both languages, English and Spanish. To get to my level of English, I think it took probably 16 years. I mean, it just really depends on how dedicated you are and how much you really want it. My grandmother, she moved to the States when she was 50 maybe, so it's taken her some work to learn the language. But she was dating somebody and they went out to eat once, and she was telling him how hungry she was, but instead of saying I'm hungry, she kept saying I'm angry. So every time they got to a restaurant, she just kept saying I'm angry, I'm angry. So he thought, well, she doesn't like this place, so I guess I'll take her somewhere else. So they went to 7 different places, and then she was like, do you not understand what angry means? I'm angry, I need food. And he said, oh, you're hungry, you're not angry. When I got to the United States, the cultural shock was bad, and the girls just kept giving their back to me, and it was very rude. It was the way they were treating me. They were like, oh, well, you don't speak English, and we're not going to speak Spanish for you. They spoke Spanish, they just didn't want to speak Spanish for me. So I felt very left out. So I wanted to turn around and just come back here. But it just gave me more of a reason to learn it faster. As Americans go, they're different, their lifestyle's completely different. I think Colombians are more friendly. They're my people. They're always gonna be, my favorites. But it's different. Everyone just cares for themselves. Life in the United States is very different. Here in Colombia, you're able to walk out of your house, go take a bus, and get anywhere, or take a taxi and go anywhere. There, you're very dependent on your car. If you don't have a car, you have to depend on somebody. There's not a lot of buses, there's not a lot of taxis. You can't just call up a taxi because if you're able to get one, it's very expensive. Some of the disadvantages of living in the United States are the food. The food here in Colombia is so good. Oh my gosh, that's something I really miss. There, you really have to watch your diet because, you know, the preservatives and stuff makes you go fat real easily. But here, you know, it's like the food, the taste, the juices. There's no juices there. There's just fruit punch and lemonades and sodas. That's pretty much it. Here, that's the one thing that I always have to have here, you know. It's priceless. I'm a dancer. There I am on my school's drill team, and we perform at football games, and we do competitions, and we have shows. I recommend for people to learn English, whether they're 5 years old or 60. You know, it's something that you'll need throughout your life, that, you know, you're just, whether you have a business partnership or, you know, just somebody that you meet that doesn't speak Spanish. It's something that will help you through life. You know, the best thing to do is just watch a lot of movies or watch people that know English, see how they talk.
Disney is for kids, but for most grown-ups, adventure starts with these 5 words. Welcome to fabulous Las Vegas. This town, located in the state of Nevada, is an ever-changing fantasy land with an unbelievable expansion since it emerged from the desert just over 100 years ago. Filled with 5-star hotels, casinos, nightclubs, and luxury retailers, Las Vegas attracts millions of tourists who crave the adrenaline that only this city can offer. Let's see why its marketing catchphrase is so true. What happens in Vegas stays in Vegas.
Welcome to fabulous Las Vegas. This famous sign was created in 1959 by Betty Willis and welcomes you to a major resort city, Las Vegas, Nevada, one of the world's top show and entertainment destinations and the world's most famous place for legal bets and gambling, which has given Las Vegas the name of Sin City. If you love gambling, shopping, luxury hotels, and fine dining, or if you just want to get married in an original and easy way, Las Vegas could be your favorite destination on earth. One of the most glamorous, luxurious, and remarkable places is the Las Vegas Strip. Grand resorts with casinos, restaurants, and theaters, along with Las Vegas Boulevard, make it the world's entertainment capital. Each famous theme hotel is a world full of entertainment in itself. Located at Las Vegas Boulevard Strip, each hotel is like its own Disney resort. Some of the more famous hotels include the Caesar's Palace, based upon the ancient city of Rome, the Italian-themed Bellagio, and also the Venetian Resort. The Venetian is one of the most beautiful casinos built in Venetian architecture, complete with its very own Venetian-styled gondola rides. The New York Hotel and Casino replicates the magnificent capital of the world and all of its tourist landmarks. Its best feature is a roller coaster that whizzes through the inside and outside of the casino. You are probably familiar with the Bellagio fountains, a collection of hundreds of fountains that dance to the tune of music and are featured in many Hollywood movies. The Wynn Hotel in Las Vegas features a restaurant called Boteros, adorned with various statues of Colombian artist Fernando Botero. You should also visit the Stratosphere Tower, which is the tallest observation tower in the United States. In Las Vegas, you will also encounter the most expensive private project in the history of the US, City Center. If you go to Vegas, be sure not to miss one of the shows of Le Cirque du Soleil, among other hundreds of activities to do in this Disney World for adults. At Vegas, you can find more than 197,000 slot machines in all of its casinos. The casinos in Las Vegas take in more than $10 billion annually in gross gaming revenue. If your plan is enjoying your best friend's bachelor party, you must go to the best nightclubs of Las Vegas. Check out the Tao nightclub at the Venetian, which is an icon of exotic exclusivity. Other interesting nightclubs to visit are Surrender, Jet in the Mirage, and Pure nightclub at Caesars Palace Hotel. Getting married in Las Vegas is incredibly easy and fast. It takes about 10 minutes to get a marriage license. There is no doubt that Las Vegas is the wedding capital of the world. Clark County at Las Vegas issues more than 125,000 marriage licenses each year. That's about 350 weddings per day. As a tourist destination, Las Vegas is paradise. And just for the record, if you experience a hangover in your trip to Las Vegas, don't worry. Remember, what happens in Vegas stays in Vegas.
We'll be right back after this short break with more tips, fun facts, and entertainment. You are watching SENA TV Web. Don't move.
Do you know the difference between should and must?
Ya regresamos con TV Web Educativa. Seguimos con TV Web Educativa.
Should. Should is an auxiliary verb used to say things that are right or correct, recommend courses of action, and make uncertain predictions. For example, saying what's right. We should solve out this problem today. Recommending action. We should stop by the store before we get home. Uncertain prediction. Profits should increase next year. Must. Must is an auxiliary verb used to express necessity or obligation and to prohibit something. Example, necessity, obligation. We must leave right now. Prohibition. They must not disrupt the work we are doing at the moment.
Hi everyone and welcome to our English tip for today. This lesson is part of the National Learning Service SENA bilingual programs and it is made for you. Today you'll learn how to ask questions in English. First of all, you should know the meaning of each one of the words you can use to ask questions. For example, what significa qué? Which se refiere a cuál o cuáles. Where significa dónde o a dónde. When se utiliza para preguntar cuándo. Why es por qué. Who es para preguntar quién o quiénes. Whom es a quién o a quiénes. Whose es de quién o de quiénes. How significa cómo. You can use all of these words like this. Hello Philip, what time is it? ¿Qué significa qué hora es? O Philip, which of these cars is yours? ¿Qué significa cuál de estos carros es tuyo? How are you significa cómo estás. Where are you going significa para dónde vas. Who is your mom significa quién es tu mamá. When is your birthday es cuándo es tu cumpleaños. Why do you like ice cream? ¿Por qué te gusta el helado? Como verán, la letra W se encuentra incluida en todas las palabras que se utilizan en inglés para hacer preguntas. Stay tuned to TV Web SENA so you can learn more English. Bye everyone and thank you so much, Philip. Why don't you give me a kiss?
$1 bill. The United States $1 bill is the most common denomination of U.S. currency. The first president, George Washington, painted by Gilbert Stuart, is currently featured on the front, while the Great Seal of the United States is featured on the